Hello and welcome to SSL Season 25 Minor League Division 2, Matchday 2. We had the opening matches last week. Now we're getting into the second day of matches here in this great Minor League Division 2 league. We have Athenine FC taking on Cairo FC first, and we're jumping right into it. Last game, Athenine won. They have Staple Muniz up top. Cairo City with a win as well. Johnny Crying is going to be their anchor in the net. The standings, these are the 1-2 matchups as they both came away with a win. Athenine with a +2 goal differential. Cairo with just a 1 +1 goal differential. So this should be a great match. A lot of action going on with it. Muniz kicks off back to Bailey, over to Wentz. And Jaeger's taking us on. Skovgaard gets it up to Bailey. Bailey. Back to Zilla. Over to Bailey. Back to Skovgaard. All the way up to Weaver. And Ayo makes a sliding tackle that goes out of play for an Athenine throw-in. Ayo over top of the box. Gets it over to Grizz. Grizz back over to Ayo. Ayo goes up the sideline. Ayo looking. Ayo passes in. Yoon with a shot, and it's just wide. It's going to be a goal kick for Athenine. That was a good chance there for Cairo City. Free kick from Muniz from way outside the box. Gets over to Bailey. Bailey's shot goes over the net. Just barely. Johnny Cron stretching out, but was not needed in that regard. Curtis Jaeger gets booked in the 9th minute. Greer over top of this ball. Greer on the corner, sends it in. Headed out. Stitcherson gets another head, but Vaughn gets a shot. It rebounds to Econ Ayo, and they bury it to give Cairo City the 1-0 lead. Just a deflection that lands at the foot of Ayo, and Ayo buries it. Vaughn with a great shot, bounces off of Yoon or Jaeger, not sure which one, but it comes right to Econ, and Econ Ayo buries it in the 19th minute, and now we're sitting 1-0, Cairo City. Free kick for Athenine. Wentz gives it up to Jaeger. Jaeger looking for Munoz on the run, but that is stopped by Duck. Crying settles it, playing out of the back. Crying kicks it off over midfield. Looking for the header. It comes down. Yoon with it. Yoon's shot is wide. Second shot by Yoon that has just went wide of the goal. But right now, Cairo City is in the lead 1-0. Holding on to possession right now, 54%. Muchabzilla booked in the 34th minute. We have 3 yellow cards for Athenine, as Fumi and Stitcherson gets booked in the 41st. We're going through the 3 minutes of stoppage time really quickly. We're in the 48th minute. Greer over top of this ball for Cairo City. Cairo City sends it in. Headed back out. Dusk gets to it. Back to Vaughn. Vaughn takes a shot, and that's going to be saved by Cabri. And now we're in the 48th minute. This should be the last minute of stoppage time. Headed back out. See if the whistle blows, and it does. Halftime, 1-0. Cairo City in the lead. 8 shots, 2 on target, with a .76 expected goal for Cairo City. And then you have 3 shots, none on target for Athenine, with a .24. What a strong half for Cairo City. It's still been a pretty close game, but Cairo City getting pretty much all the chances. They're going to look to keep dominating that. Athenine's going to look to kind of take advantage of the counterattack. It's been there. The pass has just been a little bit late a couple times. So we'll see what adjustments these teams make at halftime, and we will get right back into it. Leo Fauchery comes in for Curtis Yeager. Shepard Vakrin comes in for Nick Duck. I couldn't catch the last one. I apologize. Ayo with the ball. Ayo. And that's a good slide tackle by Staple to knock it out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Cairo City. Stitcherson with the ball. Throws it in. Bailey. Back to Stitcherson. Over to Leo. Up to Bailey. Bailey over. And that's intercepted. Ayo corrals the loose ball. Good interception by Vaughn. Ayo up the sideline. Cove guard marking. Knocked into the box. Headed. And that is going to be well over the bar. Still 1-0 Cairo City. 51st minute. Dumo. Cairo City deep throw in their defensive zone. And Athenai takes it away. Over to Leo. Over to Exposito. Shot. And that's well over the bar. Staple gave it a shot, and it just goes over. But that was a decent chance for Athenai. Looking to build on that. Bailey with it for Athenai. Munoz running. Munoz with a chance. Munoz shot is saved. Tries to be a little bit tricky, and it's not going to fool Johnny Cry. Munoz with the free kick outside of the box. Shot is saved. That was a curler, and Johnny Cry gets their hands on it, and that's going to be a corner for Athenia. Stitcherson over top of it. Sends it in. And that's going to go well past them. Greer with it, shoots it back out, and that's going to be out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Athenia on their side. Going well into the 68th minute and beyond. Shepard gets booked for Cairo City. This is going to be a free kick for Vaughn. Vaughn sends it in. Headed out. Vaughn's going to win the race to it. Gets to it. Brings it back into the box. With a move shot off the crossbar. And that goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Athenai. Skovgard with a throw-in. Sends it deep. Nobody was there. Ayo's going to track the ball down for Cairo City and turn and run with it. Over to Grizz. Back to Valkyrian. Over to Ayo. Ayo up the sideline. Ayo loses Exposito. Exposito back in position, but the cross comes in. Headed down. Greer gets to it. Over to Grizz. Grizz sends it all the way back to Duck. Duck gets it up to Adamo. Adamo with it. Adamo looking for the cross. Gets the cross in. It's headed out. Ayo comes down with Ayo in the box. Ayo looking, and that's a good tackle by Weaver, but Vaughn gets to the loose ball. It's Cairo City, and that's a header that goes over the bar and out of play. 10 minutes left in the original 90 now. Econ Ayo booked in the 77th minute. Now we're down to 5 minutes of the 90. 2 minutes of the 90. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Cairo City looking to make a move, but Skogard intercepts it. Now Athenai with a chance to counter. They find Exposito all alone. Exposito shot, and it is wide. Exposito was offsides anyway, so nothing was going to come of that. But would like to see more of a crisp chance on that one. Cairo City controlling the ball. 30 seconds left in the 3-minute minimum. Staple stepping up on Crying. Crying sends it deep. We're down to 15 seconds left. Vaughn winning the race to this. Cairo City just kind of trying to get rid of time. Weaver takes it away. 6 seconds left. So let's see if it's a quick blow. Back to Calbury. And we're at the 93rd minute, and there is the whistle. Cairo City wins a close one, 1-0 over Athenai FC. We had 13 shots for Cairo City, 2 on target, 8 shots, 4 on target for Athenai. Over possession favored Cairo City, 51 to 49%. Overall, very close game. Cairo City just coming out on top in that 1-0 lead win. Player of the match is going to go to Econ Ayo with a goal and some really good chances created. CS Rova and Montreal United is going to be our next match. We'll be right back at the start of it. We're going to have a kickoff. CS Rova going to have I Love Ziegel up top. Shores are in net. They did lose their last match. Over on the Montreal United side, they're going to have Hay up front, Hernandez in goal, and they also lost their first match. So both of these teams looking to get a win out of this. Montreal United just sitting right below CS Rova in the standings, but it is still early, so it doesn't really mean a lot, but one of these teams wants to get on the board. I Love Ziegel tries to get it up to Sherman's, but Gronkowski now has it, and CS Rova took it back. Buccaneer with a free kick gets it up to Jones. Jones gets it over to Morley. Morley back to Buccaneer. Buccaneer back to King. King with it. King's pass is intercepted by Kallinens. Kallinens tries to get it over to Adaraka, but it was bad pass. Shorte gets the loose ball over to Q Jr. up into I Love Ziegel, and that shot is saved. It's going to be a corner for CS Rova. I Love Ziegel over this corner. Sends it into the box. Headed all the way out. Rockets going to chase it down, and we're going to go into the sim. Matt, oopsie, wrong sport, Turk booked in the 3rd minute. Throw in for Rova. Gets it over to Rocket. Rocket back to Shorte. Shorte looking. Gets it over to I Love Ziegel. I Love Ziegel shot is saved. Over to Shorte. Shorte's shot is saved. And then Rocket's shot goes over the bar. Really good chances there for Rova, but they're not getting them in. Throw in Q Jr. over to Sherman's, back to Q Jr. over to Kallinens, back to Q Jr. Q Jr. gets it to Kallinens, and that long shot is pulled down by Hernandez. Rova asking a ton of questions, and Montreal are answering them right now. Suzuki gets it in over to Jones. Grudner over to Buccaneer. Buccaneer tries to set up the offense. Back to King. King gets it up to Jones. Jones pass over to Andrew Jr. That gets into the box, and Schwarzer's going to come down with it. None of the Montreal players really knew where that pass was going, so there was kind of just a hesitation. And Schwarzer comes out and takes it away. Turk with it. Turk gets it up to Sherman. Sherman over to Grunder. Grunder running. Grunder has space. Grunder's shot is well into the stands. Throw in. Q Jr. gets it in. Sherman's back to Q Jr. Q Jr. back to Sherman. Sherman's with the pass, and it's right to a Montreal player, but Rova gets the deflection. Schwarzer with a shot, and that shot is blocked by Suzuki, so it's going to be a corner kick for Rova. Q Jr. on this corner kick. Sends it in, and that's going to be brought down by Hernandez. Not much danger in that opportunity. Hernandez, quick clear, gets it up. Rova with a header. It's bouncing around. Rova's going to come down with the loose ball. Gets it up to Rocket. Rocket's running now. Rocket with a chance. Rocket's shot is saved. I Love Ziegel on this corner for Rova. Sends it in. All the way deep. Headed back. Rocket's going to win the race. Rocket with it. Gronkowski on the defense, gets it over to Kallinens, over to Fern. Fern up to Q Jr. I Love Ziegel's shot is going to be blocked. And we are back into the sim. 1.19 on the XG for Rova. Nothing on the Montreal side. It just bumped up to 1.35. Corner for Rova. Q Jr. over top of this. It's still 0-0. That's the only thing that matters. Headed out. Rocket's going to get to the loose ball. Rocket brings it in the box. Rocket's shot is over the bar. Oh, and that was blocked. Q Jr. on this corner again. Sends it in. Headed out. Rocket's going to try to get to it, but does not get to it. It's going to be a throw in. And we go into the sim. Fern over top of this ball, gets it over to Kallinens. Fern back to Q Jr. Q Jr. gets it up Grunner. Grunner gets it over to Sherman. Sherman looking to set up this run. Looking for the cross. Turns around, loses it to Gibraltar. Gibraltar clears it. And Gronkowski heads it, and Turk comes down with it. So Rova still possessing Kallinens with it. Kallinens. Rocket over to I Love Ziegel, and I Love Ziegel gets the goal if it stands. We're going to get the review. And it is a goal. Rocket with a great pass to I Love Ziegel. And I Love Ziegel finally buries it for Rova. Great run by I Love Ziegel. Beats Hernandez to the near side. And now it's 1-0. Rova. Kallinen's up to Rocket. Rocket. Quick touch up to Ziegel. Ziegel scores. 7th shot on goal finally goes in for Rova. Headed around. Rova comes down with it. Grunner with it. Grunner running. Grunner with it. Grunner's shot is well over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick for Montreal. 2 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Shorte with it. Shorte turns. Shorte loses it. Gets it over to Turk. Turk over to Grunner. Grunner over to Sherman's, and Sherman's shot is saved. Hernandez has been electric for Montreal. Could be a well different score if not for them. And that header's going to go well over the bar, and it's going to be halftime. 1-0, Rova leads. 21 shots total for Rova. 8 on target, 2.28 on the XG. On the Montreal side, they've had 1 shot, none on target, 0.04. Possession favoring Rova, 53 to 47%. I Love Ziegel is the only one with a goal so far in this game. And Domenico Hernandez has been electrifying in the net for Montreal. We're going to get your halftime subs, and we'll be right back into it. Coming right back into it, the halftime subs, Kimi Häkkinen, Clara Schmidt in, Suzuki and Kronkowski out. Kickoff from Montreal. Gibraltar gets it over to Jones. Jones wide to Andrews Jr., and we're simming. 45th minute, throw in for Montreal. Montreal gets it in. Jones back to Andrews Jr. Over to Jones. Jones sends it into the box, headed out, but Morley gets to it. Rocket guarding Morley, back to Buccaneer. Buccaneer with Ziegel on him. Ziegel applying pressure. King over to Gibraltar. Gibraltar gets it over the wide side. Andrews Jr. has space. Q Jr. marking, sends it in. Turk. Gibraltar. Jones over to Schmidt. Schmidt into the box, and that was a thing of beauty. Clara Schmidt, Häkkinen comes on and scores the first goal for Montreal United. Schmidt turns, gets it over to Jones. Zihau gets it over to Schmidt. Schmidt finds Häkkinen all alone. Schwarzer had no chance. 1-1. Montreal ties it up. 52nd minute. Montreal now with the ball still. It was all Rova the first half. This half has been nothing but Montreal up until that point. Ziegel with it. Ziegel gets it over to Shorte. Grudner with the shot. And that is a big-time save by Hernandez. Ziegel with the corner. Ziegel over top of the ball. Sends it in. Headed, and that is out of play. Goal kick for Montreal. Nothing comes of that. Throw in for Montreal deep in their own side. Jones with it. Jones looking. Jones finds Häkkinen. Häkkinen loses the ball. Shorte comes away with it. Shorte with it. Shorte passes it over Kalnin's. Over to Grunner. Grunner with it. Grunner finds I Love Ziegel, but Zaref King steps into it and takes the ball away. Now Montreal on the attack. Montreal over to Schmidt. Over to Zaref King. Over to Gibraltar. Back up to Jones. Jones back to Buccaneer. Buccaneer with it. Buccaneer gets it over to Jones. Jones sends it in. Jones, header comes down by Yoon. Yoon gets it over to Q Jr. Q Jr. running. Q Jr. crosses it in. Over to Shorte. Shorte with it. Shot, and that's outside the net. Thanks to a save by Hernandez. It's going to be a corner for Q Jr. Q Jr. with it. Q Jr. sends it in. Big header by Matt. Oopsie, wrong spurt. Turk. And it makes it 2-1, Rova. What a great send-in by Q Jr. Finding Turk. Morley tries to mark him, but Turk out jumps him and buries it into the far post netting. Throw in for Rova. Schwarte sends it in. Over to Arena. Over to Turk. Turk doesn't get to that ball. Schmidt now settles it. Back to Hernandez. Hernandez gets it up to Andrew Jr. Andrew Jr. up to Schmidt. Schmidt now running up the sidelines. Q Jr. marking. Sherman's marking. Sends it in, and that's going to be taken away by Fern. Q Jr. gets it over to Sherman's. Sherman sends it up to Rocket, but that pass is intercepted by Buccaneer. Rocket now with it. Over to Schwarte. Schwarte, heavy touch, but gets by Häkkinen, sends it into the box, and Hernandez with a great tracking grab to stop that attack. Hernandez sends it well up the pitch. Over to Fern, up to Sherman's. Grudner's shot is blocked by Sheriff King, and it's going to be a corner again for Rova. I love Ziegel over this corner. Ziegel sends it in. Headed out. Rocket's going to chase it down and set back up the offense. Rocket looking. Rocket gets it over to Turk. Quick one touch, and that's over the net. Still 2-1, Rova. Off that goal kick, Hernandez sends it deep. Headed down by Turk, over to Sherman's. Sherman's back to Urena. Urena up to Kallinen's, over to Sherman's. Good tackle by Jones to take it away from Sherman's. Andrew Jr. now on the sideline. Pass over to Wang Zhao, but Turk takes it away. Over to Rocket. Rocket one touch over to I Love Ziegel. Finds Sherman's. Pass back in. Ball is bouncing around. Schwarte with it. Sends it in. And it's saved by Hernandez. Scary moments there for Montreal. But Hernandez stays steady in the net. Gibraltar sends it over to Andrew Jr. Jr. up to Schmidt. Schmidt looking to beat Q Jr. Gets it over to Zhao, but it's taken away. Now Sherman's has it for Rova. Over to Rocket. Rocket with space. Rocket running it up. Rocket looking for the next pass. Over to Schwarter. Over to Turk. Up to Sherman's. Over to Rocket. And that shot is saved, but they were offsides anyways. Rova with a 3.36 XG with only 2 goals. They're getting their chance, they're just not capitalizing as much as you'd like to see. Kallinen's with it. Kallinen's gets it over to Rocket, who lets it go through Turk. Q Jr.'s with it. Turk's shot is saved by diving Hernandez. And it might not be Rova that's not bearing these chances. Honestly, there's a brick wall in front of him named Hernandez that is making save after save after save. Schwarte sends it up to Grudner. Grudner with a run. Grudner shot. Don't know. It just went wide. Nobody touched it. It's a corner. It's a goal kick. 72nd minute. Rocket back to Schwarte. Schwarte over to Urena. Urena with it. Sends it over to Kallinen's. Kallinen's back to Urena. Over to Turk. Turk with it. Turk sends it up to Rocket. Rocket finds Grudner. Grudner shot, and that one is saved. Corner kick for I Love Ziegel. On the corner kick. 74th minute. Sends it in. And Hernandez tracks it and comes down with it to end that attack. Montreal now looking for the equalizer. All throughout this, they're only down by 1. But Sherman's takes away Grudner with it. Over to Q Jr. Q Jr.'s shot is deflected, and Hernandez is able to easily pick that up. The more Montreal holds on, they have that chance to just take it away. Goal kick for Rova, gets it up to Turk. Turk up to Grudner. Grudner back to Fern. Fern with it. Fern sends it all the way back to Schwarzer. Schwarzer over to Urena. Urena over to Schwarte. Schwarte with it. Schwarte over to Rocket. Rocket with it. Rocket sends it in the box. It's not deep enough. Montreal comes down with it. But that pass is a little bit weak, and Rova's able to take it away. Grudner over to Kallinen's, over to Schwarte, whose shot is saved by Hernandez. 10 minutes left in the 90. Q Jr. with a corner kick. Sends it in. Headed out. Rocket's going to get to it. Rocket goes over to the corner. Rocket looking, gets it over to Turk. Turk over to Kallinen's. That shot is blocked. Turk comes down with it. Turk sends it back in the box. Headed out. Shorte's going to run it down. Shorte turns, and it goes into the sin. Throw in for Montreal. Only down by 1, so they can still get the tie here. But Kallinen takes it away, gets it up to I Love Ziegel. I Love Ziegel shot, and it's a goal. Second goal for Lisfer I Love Ziegel. And it was off of a great feed by Kallinen's to make it 3-1 CS Rova. Just Kallinen's takes it away from King's dribble. Sees I Love Ziegel. I Love Ziegel, quick one-touch shot. And it beats us diving Hernandez. And that's going to make it 3-1. CS Rova. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Grudner with it. Sends it up to I Love Ziegel. That pass is deflected. And Sherman's gets it. Sherman's back with it. Sherman's turning. We're 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're just in the 91st minute. Over to Q Jr. Q Jr. sends it in the box. That shot by Rocket is blocked. But it comes down to Robbie Sherman's. And Robbie Sherman's gets their first goal this season off of a block shot of Rockets that just lands at their feet, and they're able to bury it. Sherman started that play. Q Jr. gets it over to Rocket. Rocket shot by Buccaneer, but that pass, the reflection just finds Sherman's foot, and Hernandez can't do much about that. 4-1 CS Rova. Now it's starting to fall apart for Montreal. King with it. King sends it up to Andrews Jr. Andrews Jr. gets it over, but it's deflected by Grubner, but Gibraltar comes down with it. Gibraltar over to Jones. Jones up to wings out. Back to Jones. And that's taken away by Shorte. Rocket with it. Rocket sends it over to Sherman's. Sherman's turns, finds Turk, back to Rocket. Rocket's is taken away. Finds Grudner, and Grudner finally finds the back of the net off of a great pass from Shorte to make it 5-1. CS Rova, 3 goals in the last, I believe, 2 minutes. Turk gets it over to Shorte. Shorte finds Grudner running, and that is a great shot that beats Hernandez. 5-1, CS Rova Wombats. 93rd minute. We're about to get the final whistle over to Jones. Turk steps into it. Rocket with it. Rocket up the sideline. Rocket looking, sends it over, but that pass is intercepted, and there is the game. 5-1 Rova win. Player of the match, none other than Lisfer I Love Ziegel. I Love Ziegel with 2 goals, 37th to 88th. Matt Oopsie Wrongspurt with a 57th minute goal. Robbie Sherman's with a 90+1. Hans Grudner with a 90+3. Kimi Häkkinen with the lone goal for Montreal in the 47th minute. XG for CS Rova was a 5.25 with 41 shots, 19 on target, 2 shots, 1 on target for Montreal United. CS Rova finally gets off the losing skid that started last season to finally get a win in Matchday 2 in this division, minor Division 2 race. Next up is going to be Inter London taking on Seoul MFC. And we're going to get this Inter London Seoul game. Kane up top for Inter London. O'Neill, McZerl, and Blobby right behind them. Seoul with a Walker up front and Twinkle Toes in net for them. They did lose their first game. Should be a great match. Enter London didn't win their first game. They are a tougher team in this Division 2 of the minors race. We're going to go straight into kickoff. Soul with the kickoff. Walker back to McLeod. Up to Rossbob. Up to Slaka. And that's going to be a throw in for Soul, deep in their own end. Now we're off to the sim. We're flying through this sim. We're already 15 minutes in. Not much action happening. It's more of a defensive stalemate. Both of these teams know each other pretty well. It's going to be a corner kick for Emmett of Soul. Here comes the kick. Sends it in. Headed out, but Simmons is going to get to it. Simmons turns, gets it over to Emmett. Emmett back to Shavenko. Shavenko gets it over to McCourtskin. Over to Human. Shot by Doug the second, and it's a big save by Letzi. Letzi is a great goalkeeper for London. Very hard to beat. Doug sends it in. Header out. Comes all the way out to Shavenko. Shavenko turns, sends it over to Bob. And now we're back to the sim. '30th minute throw in for DeMarco of London. Intercepted by Soul, cleared out, but Hutchinson Jr. of London gets to it. Over to Mendez. Mendez. Pass is intercepted. They find a streaking Walker who passes it back to Doug 2. Gets it over to Human. Human marked by Lizard. Sends it in the box and finds Simmons. And Anthony Simmons gets their first goal of the season to make it 1-0. Soul MFC. What a great lead pass that gets to Walker. Doug second gets it over to Hugman. Hugman gets it up, passes it in, and just finds a late running Simmons right in front of Letzi. And there's not much Letzi could do about that. 1-0. Free kick for London. Shot! Saved by Twinkle Toes. It's going to be a corner. McZerl is going to take this corner over top of the ball. Sends it in. Headed around, and that's going to come out. 33rd minute, deep throw in for London. Blabe gets it over to DeMarco. Back to DeMarco, over to Kane. Kane's shot is blocked. The ball's bouncing. It's going to be won by Walker. Walker turns. They have Hugman. Hugman gets it. Hugman turns. Francis marking. Lizard now marking. Hugman slows it down. Lizard steps into it. And it's going to be a throw for Soul, deep in their own end. 35th minute free kick. Simmons sends it in, and that's going to be a great save by Letzi off of the read. Doug second on the corner for Soul. 35th minute, sends it in. Headed around. Comes down to Salaka. Human with the shot, and it's a diving kick save by Letzi. Sends it out of play. Now it's Eamon over on the other side. Sends it in. Comes down, Doug second, trying to run it down. Bad pass. McZerl picks it off over to DeMarco. DeMarco with it now, sends it back to Letzi. Letzi with it, sends it up. And Blabe comes down with it. Blabe now running. Blabe up the sideline. That cross is blocked, but McZerl comes down with it. Shavenko with it. And that's going to be taken away by Ross Bob. But the header is taken down by London. Francis with it. Francis sends it up to Mendez. Mendez sends it all the way back to Jartingen, who passes it over to Hutchinson Jr., up to Mendez, over to DeMarco. DeMarco running, Ross Bob on the marking, and that pass comes through. It's a tap shot by McZerl, but Twinkle Toes read it all the way. Still 1-0. Soul with the lead. 41st minute throw in for London in their defensive zone. Hutchinson Jr. sends it back to Letzi. Letzi kicks it clear. Only Soul players there. They come down with it, but London comes away with the ball off of a deep pass. Gets it over to O'Neill. O'Neill now running. Emmett marking. Emmett tries to take it away, but is passed in. Mendez at the top box shot, and Twinkle Toes comes down with it. Another great save by Twinkle Toes. 2 minutes of stoppage time. We're through the first. through the second. We're halftime. 1-0. Seoul MFC. This was a quick half. 11 shots for Seoul, 4 on target. 7 for London, 3 on target. XG favors London, 1.03 to 0.87. Possession favors London, 58 to 42%. But Seoul is up where it counts most, 1-0. Second half will be starting soon. Hunt comes in for Simmons. DeMarco sends it up over to Blabe. Blabe back to Mendez. Mendez turns. Pass it over to Hutchinson Jr. Hutchinson Jr. up to Francis. Francis over to DeMarco. DeMarco with it over to Jertingen. Over to Mendez. Mendez back to Hutchinson Jr. Over to DeMarco. And we're now simming. Free kick for Doug II. Sends it in. Headed out. Blabe takes it away. Salaka now with it for Seoul. Seoul over Doug II with it in the box. Shot is saved. And they were offsides. Walker blocking the keeper's view is what caused the offsides. London with a chance to tie it. McZerl in the corner. Sends it in. Far side. Headed out. Kane's going to win the race to this. Kane with it. Kane passes it up to Hutchinson Jr. London in control. Jertingen with it. Back to Francis. Francis with it. Francis turns back over to Jertingen. Mendez over to Hutchinson Jr. Over to DeMarco. DeMarco with it. DeMarco sends it in. Headed, and that is wide. Good header. It just goes wide. Still 1-0 Seoul. '66 minute. Throw in for London. Over to Lizard. O'Neal to Lizard. O'Neal back to Francis. Francis over to McZerl. McZerl back to Mendez. Mendez with a chance. Shot is blocked by Doug II. And this ball rolls, but Doug II can't get to it. London keeps it into Blabe. And Blabe buries it. 1-1. Mr. Blabe with a great goal. Doug just beat by Hutchinson Jr. by a split second. O'Neal gets it over to DeMarco, who finds Blabe, and Blabe's shot, I think, might have come off of McLeod's foot to kind of go in the near post. And now it's 1-1 in the 70th. And London still attacking. McZerl over to O'Neal. That shot is blocked, and it goes out of play. It's going to be a corner for Inter London. O'Neal is going to take it. O'Neal over this corner. Sends it in. Headed out, but McZerl's going to get to it. McZerl with it. Sends it back up to Jerton. Back to Mendez. And now we're simming. XG has been favoring London the whole time, and London's finally able to tie it up. So London's looking to get this win. Sneak a win. Last 13 minutes of the 90. Lizard over to Francis, over to O'Neal. Up, but Chervenko takes it away. McLeod sends it deep, trying to find a running Seoul player, but nobody was there, and London comes away with it. Kane back to Hutchinson Jr. Up to DeMarco. DeMarco with it, over to Hutchinson Jr. Over to Jertenhen. Over to Lizard. Lizard with it. Lizard finds Kane. Kane gets it over to Blabe, and Mr. Blabe might have their second goal if they stayed on sides. Looked offsides to me, but I'm not the one calling the game, and it was offsides. Still 1-1. Mr. Blabe was just offsides. By just, I mean like 6 feet. 10 minutes left in the 90. And we're flying through those. We're through 5 minutes. Free kick for Seoul. Salaka sends it in. Back to Salaka. Curls it in, headed, and it's just over the bar, but Walker was offsides anyways. We've had 3 bookings. Lizard throws it into McSearle. McSearle back to Lizard. Francis with it over to Jertenhang. Over to Francis, over to McSearle. Lizard sends it in, but it is taken away, but they're looking at it, and it's called for a penalty. It will be reviewed. There was contact. Was it enough for a penalty? This would be huge for London, and they do get the penalty. McSearle stands over this penalty shot for London. McSearle lines it up. Shot and goal. London takes the lead thanks to Chris McSearle, who gets their first goal of the season, 2-1. Enter London in the 89th minute. Takes the lead. That is a heartbreaker for Zoll. We're going to have 4 minutes of extra time, and we're already through 3 minutes of it. Zoll with a chance here. Human back to Inman, over to Human, over to Hart. Pass back out, but Bob comes down with it, and that shot goes off the side netting, and we're down to the last 10 seconds. Letzi sends it deep, 10. Walker heads it over, but Jertenhen's going to get to it. Sends it up, and that is game. Enter London with a great comeback, down 1-0 at halftime, wins the game 2-1 thanks to a 89th minute penalty buried by Chris McSearle. 16 shots for London, 5 on target, 13 for Seoul, 4 on target. XG favored London 2.82 to 1.01. Possession, London handled the majority of the possession 62% of the time. And here is the wrap-up of Matchday 2 in Minors Division 2. Cairo City beats Athens 1-0. CS Rova 5-1 over Montreal United. Inter London 2-1 over Seoul MFC, and Inter London's gonna move up into that top spot, tied with Cairo City. Rova moves up to 3rd, Athenine down to 4th, Seoul stays at 5th, and Montreal moves down to 6th. That is all for today. Thank you guys for watching. As always, it's been a pleasure to announce these games for you. Hope you have a great day. Love you, and good night.